Hi, everybody, and welcome back to episode 7, I believe, of our playthrough. Let's get going. Let me load up the game here. And we'll start off at the end of episode 6. All right, so last episode we left off with building out a belt of green circuits and room to make a second belt. And we actually need to fix this because this is for a second line of iron right here. So this will be another belt coming out here. Okay. So one thing let's do is, let's see, how many do we have here? Quite a bit. Oh, let's go up here. Let's actually put a splitter, and this splitter is going to put some circuits going this way. And maybe we'll just do this much right now. We'll copy this on the other side. And we'll have the priority of this this one right here going to the left. That means as these chips come through, even though it splits them evenly, if this belt's empty, it will filter out this way. So I guess we actually don't need a splitter. We can just go like this. And say, okay, if stuff further in the base is demanding green circuits, let's let them go. But if we're not, let's keep producing with the resources that we have and just store them in these chests. So we're just going to let that fill up. That way, if we need to grab some in order to produce something, we'll have the circuits to do it. Okay. Let's maybe close this off just for now. Oof, gotta be careful here. And down, and it looks like we gave us a little bit of room. About that much room. We don't need quite that much room. I'm not really exact when it comes to placing paths. I just kind of throw them out there. Okay. So now what I think would be helpful is to create some sort of mall over here. Mall is the commonly used term. Just a place where we can create all the resources that we're going to need to, at a minimum, build up our base to research these other sciences and produce the other sciences. So that's going to be belts, inserters, and assemblers. And later on, we'll want to create resources for trains so that we can go out and grab new resource patches. You can actually get all the way to launching a rocket without having to produce all of that. You can handcraft it, or like we did up here, you can set up like lines of assemblers that you just use to craft, items on your own. Craft a whole bunch of gears, craft a whole bunch of copper cables, etc. But that's just a lot of manual stuff, so it might be nice to not do that. So let's get going by just creating a little mall over here that we can use to create our basic stuff. So if we listed out what we might want to have, we would want to have like assemblers, and we want assembler 2, so we're going to need to create assembler 1s. And then we would want to have belts and splitters, and since we've researched the reds, we could start producing those as well. So, oops, guess I don't need to copy that. That'd be nice. And then it would be nice to have all of our inserters going on. So if we start with yellow inserters, and those are needed to create red and blue, and then these purple ones are created by blue, and then eventually there's going to be green ones that are created from blues, and then white that are created from greens. So this is kind of the flow this way, and this way. So we can create all of this stuff. We're going to need plates, gears, circuits, plates, gears, circuits, steel, plates, gears, circuits. So all of this stuff is going to take plates, which we have, gears, which we'll need to make, circuits, which we now have, and steel, which we have. We've got steel right here. So now it comes to actually designing all of this. One thing you can do is just throw the gears, create a line for gears on the bus. That's one way you can do it. For some reason that's debated. I think it's just put gears on the bus if you just want to tap into gears, or create gears on the spot if you want to use gears like in a local area, because they're pretty easy to craft. And we're already bringing iron over here because of all the requirements for these and for the belts and for the assemblers. So I'm fine with just crafting gears on site. So one way you could do it is say, all right, if I have an assembly machine, if I have something that needs gears, for example, I'm just going to set up something that makes gears right next to it. And go that route and try and feed everything I can with these gears. But you're going to need a lot of gears. So if we're going to create gears on the spot, maybe we can just create a few assemblers that are just, cranking out gears, sending them down the line along with this other stuff. And then we can, almost like on its own little mini bus right here, we can belt the other stuff through, and then everybody will be happy, and that's not that hard to do. And there's a lot of ways you could design this. I'm going to create some more of these actually. So we're going to need a few. And we're going to need some more belts. Let's go grab some more belts. Had a little autosave there that messed me up. Let me fix my base real quick. So we're going to need belts, and we're going to need undergrounds, probably splitters. So we'll go grab those and then hopefully quickly transition to having these in our mall so we don't have to keep driving up here. I'll grab some more of those. Grab those. Okay. I actually found a mod that I like. It's called Vehicle Snap. And basically as you're driving, if your vehicle is within a certain direction in terms of degrees, it will straighten out. So if you're barely turned to the left, it will straighten you out unless you're actually going at a 30-degree angle or 45 degrees. Yeah, it's oh, that's really, really handy. Okay. So now when it comes to design, we're saying, okay, we want to get a whole bunch of gears on the bus. How do we do that? And then we want to run stuff through so everything's feeding everything else. And then we want to be able to grab stuff up here. So for example, if we want a box of stuff right here, and that's inserting from here, we're going to have our assembler right there. That's fine. And then we want lanes of stuff going through, and we also want to be able to grab items that are prerequisites. So for example, we want to create these, but we only want them for that. So we're going to need something to feed those like this, which is fine. And we can do kind of the same setup all along. So we could have our belts, and then it's like, okay, well, now we need to be able to run materials through that. This requires a lot of stuff, like gears. Like this is one or two belts of stuff coming through. How do we fit that all in? It's like we can go like this, and we could go like this and just hop and grab them through there. That's one way we could do it. Another way we could do it is to leave space like this in between to say, okay, this is going to, anytime we need gears or anytime we need iron or steel, it's going to come up this way. And anytime we need green circuits, they're going to come down this way. And we're just going to run stuff up on this side, and we're going to run off stuff on this side. So it's like, okay, every time we need iron or steel, it's going to come up this way, and these can grab. And then we'll just store all of our stuff in here. Same with like, you know, if we're going to do belts, and those feed these, and they also feed those, and then these are prerequisite. Then it's like, okay, now we can do that, we can do that, we can do this, and we can do the same thing. We can run these belts through here. If we need to like skip over, we can. And since this was, you know, plates, this will need to be plates, and we can do something like that. I don't have any issues with that type of design. I actually think it works really well. Something that I've been fiddling with, and that I might try here, that I think is kind of a fun exercise, is to make a mall that's kind of skinny. So for example, you have a pattern that goes like this. And that's basically your pattern for the whole mall all the way down. So for example, you would say, okay, this is a blue assembly machine, and this is that assembly machine. So I know that I'm going to need to crank out one of these and insert it into there. Okay, that's fine. And we'll just fill the rest of these in and say, okay, now let's look at belts. I want to maybe just think about switching, or at least building up to red belts. So let's go like this, and then these will be the complements. So I know that I'm going to need to feed belts here, and I'm also going to need to feed belts like this. And then these will need to feed like this. Okay, that works. Now let's look at inserters. So we have our inserter, and then we want to be able to make reds, and we want to be able to make blues. So I'm going to need to feed that and that. And for all of these, I'm going to want to just output, you know, into chests here. Same with this. Okay. And then this is going to be purple. This will be green, and this will be white. So this will eventually need to go like that. And this will need to go like that. But we don't need those yet. So, okay, that works. We're going to need power, so I'm going to use these power poles. And because these are going to be grabbing off of belts that run through here, I'm going to put the power poles in a spot where it can't interfere with any belt needs. So it's basically going to be in this space right here, like that. Okay, and now we're going to want to be able to create a whole lot of gears. So we're going to have all of these be making gears. Oh, this one's wrong. This needs to go here. That's right. Okay. So, sweet. And then to output stuff, we just need a pole in between that will reach both. These won't reach both of them like this. We could do something like that, but let's just put that in between. So that will cover those two. That'll cover those two. That'll cover those two. And now the question is do we want to build with yellow belts, or should we just switch to red belts since we have them? I would say let's just start with yellow for now. Okay, so this will need to go here and here. And then we can start upgrading. Okay, so that is like a very skinny mall. We'll call it a strip mall. Now we have to say, okay, how do we get stuff in here? First of all, we need to make sure we have gears. And what this lets you do, you have to have a ton of undergrounds, so it's not necessarily efficient in terms of like resources. Instead of just having like a belt that's going all the way through, you have to have an underground. But it doesn't have any splitters required, so I think that's nice. So we're going to need iron for a lot of this, and we're going to need circuits for sure for these, but this is the only one that needs steel. So let's drag steel over, and we'll pretend that that's going like that, and this will do the same thing. So let's bring steel over. And have it stop right there. Okay. And this just needs 2 steel, so we're going to need a blue to keep up with that. Okay, so that needs steel. Then we're going to need circuits and iron and gears. So we want iron and gears to be running along here. So we basically now have 4 lanes where we can bring materials in like this. So if you do these to their max, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 is taken up by the assembler, and 1 leaves a space where you can put an inserter to grab stuff, okay? And if we want to grab, let's say we want to grab from here, we can grab with the red. But we can't grab right here, so what we want to do is stagger these so they're like this. Now this can grab from this belt, and it can grab from these. So we want to do the same here. We're going to go like that and go like that. So now this can grab from this one, and this one. Okay, so what we can do is bring iron all the way through over to here, and we'll build gears, and then we'll run the gears back this way so that they can be used. And I believe that we will need to do them like this. Reverse, reverse, reverse. Okay, and the reason why is because of how inserters put stuff on belts. So if this is putting gears on this belt, it's going to put it on the right side. So the bottom, if we're talking about the screen, if we're traveling this way, it's going to be the right side. And then if you're placing like this perpendicular, it's going to place it on the far side. So this is going to put on the left and this is going to put on the right. So these are going to evenly fill this, and that's going to carry all the way down. So we basically want to say, okay, you guys all put there and you guys all put there. Sweet. We're going to need some more blues, but pretty soon we'll have it built for us. Okay, so now we want to run iron through here to feed those. So let's keep going with this. Okay. And now each of these needs to grab iron. So these are all grabbing like this, and these are grabbing like this. Oops, that's enough, right? Okay, so now let's hook up the iron and see if that actually works. And we need iron to be coming this way. We don't really have a clear path to grab it until here, so we'll go like that. And we'll just do a little jog. Just in case. Okay. So now we should have iron going through. And great. So now we really just need gears, or not gears, but green circuits. And we only need them on one, so we can do this. I guess we could run them both ways, but. Okay, so the iron is pushing all the way through. And these are starting to put, so these are all picking up iron from this belt and putting them on this belt. So now gears are going to start going back this way, like this. Sweet. So we should see them ending up here. Nice. So let's actually put a gearbox here and slowly fill this up. So this is only going to grab, actually let's give it one more space. This is only going to grab if all of these gears are going to get used up. And some of these require a lot of gears. Like these require 5 gears, but these require 40. So these take a ton of gears. And those require 10. So yeah, we might actually want to switch these and change this so that these get gears first. Okay, so now we just need to provide circuits. And all of these take the green circuits, but the stack inserters right here, these require red circuits, and we don't have those yet. And we want to leave room for them. And we could do like green circuits here and red circuits up here, but we actually don't need that many green circuits. These need them, and these need them, and these do too, but like half a belt of green circuits is fine to just slowly start building up resources. And before I forget, let's actually research this. Okay. Actually, we should be doing lots of research, shouldn't we? So let's just queue up some research right now. Sure. Keep researching. Okay, so we only need a half belt going through, and we can have red circuits join that, or we can just push red circuits through here, and eventually the greens can grab them, and that's fine. So maybe let's just stick with the greens for right now. And we'll run them this way. So we could go like this, but this is the last one that needs them, so we can grab them from there. And this will be these, and it needs circuits, so it will need to grab from there. Okay, that should be fine. So now we need to bring circuits on this belt. Okay. This is going the wrong way. And that's all of our ingredients. So obviously this is just one way to do it. You could have done something like, you know, I've seen them where you're spaced out like this, and you've got these creating all your gears, and you've got iron going like this, and then you've got gears that are running this way through the whole thing, and sorry, not like that, but like this. And then everything can grab gears, and then all of your other ingredients you're just running up through the middle and splitting off. So you might have like circuits like this, and so all of these could grab circuits, and you have iron going the other way. It's like there's tons of different ways you could do it. You don't even have to build out like super crazy like that. You could just have gears on the bus, and you could put the gears and some circuits and plates down the middle, just like 2 lines like this. So for example, a very common early startup is to put gears like this, and you could even do them on both sides like this, and have iron running this way, and then have green circuits and all the gears be putting on there. So then you have green circuits, gears, and iron, and then you can just set up little 3 things of whatever you need and just run them through that way. Totally fine. Okay, so what we created is, or researched, was this technology here called circuit network, and it helps you control how your machines run. And we're going to just create a bunch of red and green wires, and let's put them on our bus here, or on our bus, on our hotbar. Okay, and let's start wiring or connecting everything up. So this needs gears, so we'll grab that from here, and it needs green circuits here, and it needs those. Okay, so this needs gears, plates, green circuits. Here's plates, here's green circuits, here's gears. So that's filling up. After it creates one, it's going to pop it here, and this is going to start filling up this box. Now, there's several ways to control how this fills up. Right now we have a couple. One of them is to just click this and basically exclude these red colored squares and say we only want this. The only thing that does is it makes it more tedious to put stuff back in that's like extra. So instead what you can do is you can use a wire connected to the inserter. And you simply grab a wire, click on the inserter, and you can see now it wants to reach out to something else, and click on the box. And now since this is connected, this is stopped because it's like, hey, you want to control my behavior somehow with this wire. So what do you want to do? So you click on it and you say, okay, yeah, I want to enable you or disable you based on some condition. And what's the condition? Well, I only want you to store 100 of these in this box. So while this chest is less than 100, then keep putting stuff in. But once you get to 100, stop. And it says, okay, I am going to fill this up. So even though it's got all this empty space, it's only going to fill it up this much. That way, if I have extra for some reason, I can come along and just put my extra stuff in here. and I don't have to like manually grab it and place it like this, which you can do, but then you don't have to do it. Okay. All right, that's assemblers. So let's start hooking everything else up. We'll start with these plates and gears. Big surprise. Plates, gears. There we go. Now, let's limit this to 1,000. How about that? So we come in here and say, all right, because you're connected to this contents, and what the chest is doing is saying, hey, all you can do with me is you can read what's in me. That's fine. We're going to read what's in you, and we're going to read as long as the signal of belts is less than 1,000. Start making belts. It says, okay, I will make belts. Sweet. Okay, let's get these plates and circuits. Plates, circuits, and it will grab belts from here. And I think there's stuff in the code that makes it that these all share equally. So these will kind of fill up equally. So let's set a circuit on this and say, keep filling this chest until we have 100. Sure, that's good. And for you, keep filling this chest with undergrounds until we have 150. Sure. I don't know. You can always change these if you want, if we find out we're not having them. So this needs belts. Okay. Sweet. Look at that. Automated production. Let me clean this up. Let's queue up some more research with our red and green science. Okay, keep that going. Still have good power. And we can see that we're still a ways away from any biter nests. That's nice. Okay, now we'll switch to inserters. Okay, so we use a lot of these. So let's say 400. How about that? And you need gears, circuits, and plates. Circuits, gears, and plates. So we can see how our plate production is a little low. We'll go fix that after we wire everything up. Okay. Now you need gears and plates, and I don't use as many of these, but let's just set this to 50. And then you need circuits and plates. Okay, and let's set you, we do use a lot more blues, so let's set you to 100. How about that? Okay. Wow, look at that. Everything is wired up and starting to produce on our own. Now, what we can do is, and I might make this a little smaller. Let's keep the same space. So we have, how much space do we have? Basically two spaces, and then we can make a path. So let's make the path, should we make it smaller? Or 3? Or let's just stick to 4 maybe. So we'll keep that as distance. Now we can just run along here and swipe and grab, and if we need other stuff, we can run up through here and swipe and grab. Hooray. And let's close this off. How about that? Yeah, we don't need this one. Okay, sweet. So let's go check out our iron. We should be, oh yeah. So this is pretty much a full belt. Looks like we might be missing something here. There. Yep. And then this one is actually going backwards to feed up here, but I think we can get rid of that now that we're starting to build our mall. So yeah, we don't need this. Let's grab those. And let's grab those. Might fill up here. Let's turn these off. Grab those. We have a lot of these. Getting pretty close here. And lots of miners. We'll leave those there, but we'll stop production. We'll build those somewhere else, but oops, sorry. Go back. You go back there. Okay, and then yeah, we don't need all these because we are making green chips and gears somewhere else. Now we don't have room to grab all these, but maybe we could make some cleanup trips. Okay, and it would be useful to pick up all of this stuff as well, so we have more room to grab this. Okay. Great. We can come clean this up later and pick up all this stuff. But for now, let's actually shut off production of this. And we're going to turn this way and go like that. So that's gonna boost our iron production. Yes. Now, if we look at how much we've got going on here, let's go look at our iron patch. We've got, we'll just copy it because that gives us a quick count. And it looks like we have some that aren't running. We've got 123 that are running or out there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got like 140. And 140 is enough to fill up 4 yellow belts. So it's like, well, why aren't we doing 4 yellow belts? Well, because we can turn these all to red belts and have 2 red belts going through here. And we can upgrade these stone furnaces to these steel furnaces. And that will let us get 2 red belts of iron going through here, which would be really, really nice. So that is probably going to be our goal for the next one, is to actually start producing some red belts, because we want to boost our iron production. It's going to start, like, this can take a full belt of iron, and all of this stuff, when it's running at max capacity, is eating up a full belt of iron as well. Yeah, so I think that will be our thing for next time, is to actually turn on some red belts and upgrade those 2 lines, as well as build out some more strip malls. Okay, so let's go here and let's actually dump off those chips. Let's get rid of those. And okay, so here's something else. Look how many assemblers we have. We have 104 assemblers, but we don't, so we don't need to create any right here. So then it's like, all right, what do we do? Well, we can put a chest right here that feeds in these extra assemblers. Okay, and Now, we don't want this creating assemblers if this chest is empty, so we can just wire up this guy to this chest and say, hey, you can start putting assemblers in. You can start putting these assemblers in if the chest is empty, if the chest contents, if there are no assemblers in there. So if that's the case, you can put them in. And now look, even though it's got some created, it's not dumping them in here because it still has a whole bunch to get through. Nice. Now we can do the same thing with the red belts, and we'll do that next episode because this one's starting to go long. But in terms of cleaning up, like that's something we can do. Like if we switch entirely to red, we can set up chests here for these, and for these to say, hey, take from our excess before you start producing more. Just kind of handy. We can do similar with all of our yellow belts. 400. So this is 100, 200, 300. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if we were to go like this stops. Nice. 100. So look, we're already maxed out. This are already maxed out. We already have all of those. We already have all of those. We already have all of those. So now our iron isn't backed up, but is, or sorry, it's not, it will continue to back up, but this is just going to create gears. Let's actually maybe limit this chest. So this will keep going and creating gears until this chest is full. Yeah. Okay. So that was episode 7. We created a little mall, and I hope you like this design. Feel free to copy it and to play with it. We're going to use this same paradigm or whatever you call it down here, and we're going to create lots of other stuff that we need to build out our base, to get trains going, to get oil production going, to create materials for nuclear fuel, all sorts of stuff. You can all do that with these. You can even create all of the sciences this way if you wanted to. Wouldn't be that hard to do. Might be kind of a fun exercise, actually. So anyways, thanks for watching. If you've got anything you'd like to add or questions, please leave them in the comments, and we'll see you next time for episode 8. Save the game. See you next time.